The sirens tore through the early morning silence. Officer Daniel Reyes lay unconscious on the stretcher, face smudged with soot, oxygen mask strapped tightly, his chest rising and falling with great effort. Smoke still clung to his uniform, but what truly shocked the hospital staff wasn't his condition. It was the enormous German shepherd running beside him. "Sir, you can't bring the dog inside?" A security guard at Willow Springs Hospital started. "He's K9, part of the force," the paramedic snapped. "His name's Valor. He saved lives tonight, and he's staying with his partner." Dr. Carla Bennett, the lead trauma nurse that night, crouched as the stretcher passed. The dog's eyes, fierce, amber, alert, never left Daniel. Valor didn't bark. He didn't growl. He simply stayed close, walking like a soldier in step, his body trembling with anxiety. This wasn't just his handler. Daniel was his world. It had started just 2 hours earlier. Daniel and Valor responded to a call. An apartment complex engulfed in flames. A panicked mother screamed about her baby girl trapped on the second floor. Everyone hesitated, but not Daniel. He ran straight in. Valor followed without a second thought. He kicked open the door, crawled through smoke, and found the baby wrapped in a blanket, wailing. Valor barked furiously to guide him, then caught scent of another unconscious resident. Daniel scooped the baby. Valor bit the woman's shirt, dragging her across the floor, lungs burning. Just as they were exiting, the stairwell collapsed behind them. Daniel shielded the baby. Valor took a chunk of debris to his side. Still, they made it out. The last ones. Now, Daniel lay in ICU, oxygen mask hissing gently. His vitals were unstable. His lungs were severely compromised. He hadn't woken up. Valor refused to leave. "He hasn't eaten," Carla whispered to Dr. Philip Myers the next evening. "He just lies there." "Dogs grieve too," Philip replied, watching the K9's motionless body pressed against the hospital bed. "But we'll need to check Daniel's response without the oxygen eventually." "Just warn me first," Carla said. By day 3, the hospital staff had adopted Valor. Nurse Tony brought grilled chicken. Janitor Marcus talked to him like an old friend. A child visiting her mother left Valor her stuffed bear. Still, the dog never moved far from Daniel's side. He only wagged his tail when Carla sat next to him. "I wonder what you're thinking," she whispered. "You've been his partner for 4 years. Saved him more than once, haven't you?" Valor blinked slowly. It happened on day 4. Daniel's vitals had improved. It was time to test if he could breathe unaided. Dr. Myers stepped in, voice soft. "Let's try this gently." He reached for the oxygen mask. No alarm, just precaution. But the moment the strap loosened, a low growl rumbled from Valor's chest. Carla turned instantly. "Wait!" Too late. Valor lunged. His teeth caught Philip's forearm, not to maim, but to halt. He released immediately after contact. It was a controlled, deliberate warning. Everyone froze. "Security!" someone shouted. 2 guards barged in with tranquilizers. "No!" Carla stood between them and Valor. "He's not attacking. He's protecting. He thinks you're hurting Daniel." Philip clutched his bleeding arm, eyes wide, but calm. "Stand down," he ordered. "No one touches that dog." He sat down on the floor, just a few feet from Valor, who growled again. "I get it now," he whispered. "You're doing your job. You saved him once. You're saving him again." After that moment, everything changed. News spread throughout the hospital. The dog who bit a doctor to protect his partner was now being called a hero. Philip, once hesitant, now visited Daniel's room every day, often bringing Valor treats, always sitting cross-legged on the floor to show respect. Valor never bit again. But he didn't wag his tail either. He waited for the only man who truly mattered. It wasn't until day 7 that something miraculous happened. Daniel stirred. Carla had just come in with fresh bandages when she noticed it. A twitch. Then a groggy voice. "Val." She nearly dropped the tray. "He's awake. He said something." Valor shot up, ears perked, eyes wide. Daniel's voice was hoarse, barely a whisper. "Valor." The dog whined, loud. Then, tail thumping, he jumped halfway on the bed, licking Daniel's face with such intensity the machines beeped. Daniel chuckled, weakly. "Easy, boy. I'm not going anywhere." Carla laughed through her tears. "Looks like you've been watched over 24/7, she said, brushing a tear from her cheek. "He wouldn't eat? Barely moved?" Daniel turned his head to look at Valor. "He's always been more than a partner. He's my shadow. My brother." The following week, a press conference was held outside the hospital. Dr. Myers spoke, bandage still on his arm. "I was bitten by Valor, and I thank God I was. That bite reminded me that healing isn't just science, it's love, loyalty, and understanding." The mayor announced a city medal for both Daniel and Valor. "I can't accept it without one condition," Daniel said during his speech, voice still gravelly from recovery. "Valor gets his own steak dinner and his own couch." Laughter and cheers erupted from the crowd. 2 months later, Daniel returned to duty. Valor came with him, tail higher, chest prouder than ever. A mural was painted across the hospital's east wing. Daniel kneeling, hand resting on Valor's head, a beam of light behind them both. Above it, in bold white letters, "He bit to protect. He stayed to heal." Valor never let anyone remove Daniel's oxygen again, and he never stopped loving the man who once ran into fire, not alone, but with his best friend beside him. Forever partners. Forever family.